car. So before we get you going, I'd just like to introduce you to James Owen, who's our Vehicle Engineering Manager, Adam Constable, who is Sports Car Product Planning Senior Manager, and they're going to talk to you around the car, give you some more details on the car, and then we'll get you on the road.
Thanks, Kev. Okay, good morning everyone. So I just wanted to cover off a couple of the reasons behind why we chose on launching the manual as an AMR, some of the key features, and then James will go into some more of the technical details. So if we go back 5 years when Aston Martin set out its second century plan, the first part of that was to replace our outgoing derivatives, so the DB9, the Vantage and the Vanquish. The DB9 obviously being replaced by the DB11 and Vanquish by DBS. Those products are now fully complete with both coupe and Volante derivatives both existing. In the Vantage lineup, we only have the Coupe Auto currently out in the market, and the next product to follow in those footsteps is of course the manual. We felt that just launching a manual alongside the Auto didn't give the credit to what this car deserves, so we wanted to launch it in a way that I think sympathised towards our motorsport history, but also represented what the AMR brand is all about, and that's what the manual intends to do. So if we talk a little bit about the car, clearly the key feature is the gearbox. It's a 7-speed dogleg gearbox, so first is bottom and left, and then you've got second, fourth and sixth running across the top. What that allows us to do is keep the primary gears that are used second to seventh on the conventional plane, so you don't have a dogleg seventh at the end of the gearbox. So as you're exploring the car today, hopefully you'll see the reasons behind why we chose to do that. A key feature, not only with AMR derivatives, but also with the manual, is trying to improve dynamics. And one of the best ways of doing that is by reducing weight. So improving customer engagement, but also trying to improve that dynamic capability by removing as much weight as possible. And we've achieved nearly 100 kilos in weight reduction with this car. Some of the key contributors to that are obviously changing from an automatic gearbox to the manual gearbox. That gives us a significant weight save, and also changing from an electronic differential to a limited slip differential as well. The car features carbon ceramic brakes as standard, so that's further improving that weight save, but also improving unladen mass as well, contributing to the dynamic behaviour of the car. If I just cover off a couple of the features of the car and why we've chosen to split some of the specifications and what you'll be driving today. So it's strictly limited to 200 production cars globally, and we've broken that down into two sections, what we call hero specifications and then a halo specification, which is the car you see here today. So 141 hero specifications available in four different exterior colours and 4 different interior colours. Customers have the choice to combine those with each other, providing 16 different options to the customer. As I said, that's limited to 141 cars, and then the further 59 cars will be in our Halo specification, the 59 edition, the car you see here today, which pays homage to our 1959 World Sports Car Championship win and the iconic Le Mans win with the DBR1 in that year. So on the Hero specification, some of the key features is a brand new AMR wheel. So the wheel you see here today, offered in a gloss black diamond turn finish, features as standard. Carbon fibre side sills, carbon fibre lower front bumper, and carbon fibre rear diffuser all feature as standard. We have the bonnet vents as standard, along with the quad exhaust. Again, that motorsport inspiration feeding through. And we have the line calipers and the choice of a line graphic on top of those 4 colours that I mentioned earlier. On the interior, we have a sport seat as standard and a sport steering wheel, and a unique interior trim split that combines Alcantara with leather for that performance feel inside the car. For the Halo edition, so the 59 edition, we take it a step further. So everything you see is what's on the car here today. So the same wheels, but in a textured black finish. We add some more carbon fibre to the car, so predominantly around the waist rail and above. So carbon fibre mirror caps, carbon fibre side louver, carbon fibre bonnet vents, a carbon fibre roof, and then also, for those who can see the rear, a carbon fibre deck lid insert that sits between the smoked tail lamps, which are also a standard feature on the car. So there is a lot of content on the car. We've tried to encourage and launch this as a value proposition. So there's circa 38 to 40,000 pounds, apologies for using sterling as a currency, worth of content on the car, with around £30,000 worth of price uplift. So there is a value proposition in there for the customer as well. You'll notice some of the cars that you're driving today are a different specification from a colour and trim perspective to the cars that I've just mentioned. The reason for that is to ensure that you've got cars that are fully performance and dynamically representative of the car you see here today, and we protect the 200 cars in those 5 specifications for those 200 customers. And there's a unique little silk plaque that you'll see on the interior that signifies one of 200 for those customers. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a flavour of the car. I'll pass over to James who'll go into a bit more of the technical detail for you.
Morning everyone. So as Adam mentioned, right from the outset of Vantage, the key was really to give the driver everything they needed for a fully immersive and engaging experience. And really the manual gave us another opportunity to take that on another step further. Developing the manual alongside the automatic made sure that through virtual modelling we could make sure that there was no compromise to the driver regardless of stature and size. However, as we quickly found with the manual, the detail is really key, and we quickly moved towards fully adjustable and functioning models and space frame bucks to make sure that the ergonomics of the car were to a good standard prior to even building the car, the prototype. This level of refinement and detail continued throughout the project, highlighted when we went through even the final prototype phases, where we actually modified the gear knob itself by just a few millimetres. This is the kind of detail that we were taking with this. Once everything was in a satisfactory place, the next key objective was actually the balance of controls. Something that's really key with the manual, obviously, with integrating a gear lever and a gear shift. You need a balance with the gear lever, with the clutch pedal, with the steering, with the braking and the throttle pedal, to create a cohesive and immersive and engaging experience for the driver. The clutch pedal itself, you'll notice today when you drive, is actually a very short stroke. This is intentional. This is something we wanted to give us to underpin the sports car nature of the vehicle. In order to maintain the weight of that clutch and to refine the balance, we've actually introduced a new piece of technology only really used in Formula 1 braking systems, which is a dual bore master cylinder. So it's effectively a 2-stage hydraulic system integrated within the master cylinder. This allows for precision and control and a tunable weight to the clutch, but also gives you that short stroke. The brake pedal moving across the pedal box, we've got a unique booster tune for this. Again, focusing on the spacing between and the step over between the brake pedal and the throttle pedal to give optimum heel and toe positioning. Of course, for those who want some assistance with the heel and toe, we do feature the AM shift feature. So it was introduced on V12 Vantage manual. It's been further refined, and even some of our most avid heel and toe colleagues have been swayed and are big fans and advocates of AM shift. So AM shift rev matches for you on downshifts, and also allows the driver to perform upshifts without having to back out of the throttle pedal. What it does essentially is smooth out the gear shifts and make sure that the car is balanced longitudinally and settled. I encourage you to try it, and if you want to heel and toe, just switch it off. The switch is dedicated and it's just in front of the gear lever. Alongside AM shift, we have the same chassis and powertrain modes, selectable individually on the steering wheel. They run through from Sport, Sport Plus and Track. Important to note that all 6 of the modes, so the powertrain and the chassis modes, are all unique for AMR Vantage, with a slightly different brief. The car is slightly more focused and more agile and more analogue for the driver. So from the chassis modes, we have unique steering tune which becomes progressively more track focused, as does the damper software. The powertrain modes adjust the throttle pedal map. So the throttle pedal map in Sport and Track are the same. It's a very linear progression of the throttle pedal, the direct relationship to the torque, so you get that real feel and engagement with the throttle pedal. The Sport Plus is a slightly more aggressive throttle pedal map. It's something that some of our customers like, particularly in the dry. You get an instant reaction of torque for very little throttle input. I recommend you try all of the modes and find whichever suits you. Personally, I would use Sport Plus in the chassis mode and Track in the powertrain mode. The exhaust valve tune also is developed throughout the powertrain modes, and you'll get to experience that. As I mentioned, the engine itself is exactly the same as what's used in the automatic version of this car, again with a unique engine calibration, but for the first time ever this engine is mated to a manual transmission at the rear. So it's provided by a supplier that we've worked with quite a lot in the past, with V12 Vantage as well. It's provided by Daimler Graziano, and it's known as the Verdi, or the green gearbox. So efficiency was key with this gearbox. So there is no external oil cooling, so it saves in mass, and it's purely air cooled. It's these efficiencies and the ratios that allow it to reach a top speed of 200 miles per hour, and the 0 to 60 time of around 3.9 seconds. That's aided by an integrated launch control system. The integrated launch control system constantly monitors the driveline and the clutch engagement, the level of clutch engagement, and delivers just the optimum amount of torque for any given clutch engagement, and only delivers full torque at full clutch engagement. The launch control system's activated with a straight steering wheel, first gear selected, clutch down, and bury the throttle pedal. The revs will climb, settle, and you'll have a flag intimated. Quickly but progressively release the clutch and you'll be away. I recommend doing this with aim shift on so that you can keep your foot planted and shift straight up to second because you'll reach it pretty quickly. Once you get going, you'll get to experience the dynamics of the car again. As I said, unique damper software, unique steering software, all to move the car on again. And to compensate for the mass reduction. There's a unique rear spring which is slightly softer, just to give slightly more feel and actually help the front end. And also the stiffest rear anti-roll bar in our lineup. The rear anti-roll bar is 22% stiffer than the automatic. Working outward from that, as Adam mentioned, we've got the AMR wheel here. These offer a 5 kilogram mass reduction. With no compromise to stiffness. So again, one of the key features, one of the key characteristics or tools to draw on when tuning the dynamics. The carbon ceramic brakes offer a 24 kilogram mass reduction, and obviously having improved thermal performance over the cast iron, and wear performance as well, regardless during track driving in particular. But in order to maintain that performance, the cooling system here has integrated upsweeps in front of the wheel, which direct airflow into the wheel cavity and cool the brakes. The remainder of the airflow is controlled down the centre of the car through Venturi vanes and directs air around the transmission to ensure that it receives as much cool air through the cooling vanes on the gearbox casing as possible, whilst also managing the airflow onto the rear diffuser. So we maintain the rear diffuser, the same as the auto, but needing to manage the airflow around the transmission and onto the rear diffuser was a key challenge. That said, we've managed to maintain the same 77 kilograms of downforce at the rear that we achieved on the auto. So, as Adam said, hopefully you'll take some time with the cars today. Enjoy them. I'll pass you over to Kevin. Thank you very much. We'll be around all day.
Thanks guys. Both James and Adam will be at coffee, so if you've got any more questions, they'll be more than happy to answer those. So I'm sure you're all very keen now to get in the car. So if I hand you over to Julian, who will pair you all up and we'll get you on the road. Enjoy.